American Academy of Pediatrics said they are deeply alarmed that the CDC's Vaccine Advisory Panel, ACIP, voted in this 8-3 decision to change this 30-year-long policy regarding hepatitis B in newborns. They are now recommending delaying the dose until a child is 2 months old instead of within 24 hours of birth. What does this decision mean for families of newborns?
Yeah, well, look, I think we first need to understand why we give that birth dose of the vaccine, because the idea of giving a vaccine to a newborn, to a lot of parents, sounds discomforting, that the first thing a child's going to face when they're born is going to be a vaccine within the first 24 hours. For a child over the age of 5, if they develop hepatitis B infection, if they're exposed to it, they're going to have a 95% chance of clearing that infection, and they'll go on to develop lifelong immunity. For children between the ages of 1 and 5, they only have about a 25 to 50% chance of clearing the infection. So about 25 to 50% of kids will develop chronic infection, and about a quarter of them will go on to die from hepatitis B if they're between the ages of 1 and 5. So children are more vulnerable to this virus and can't clear the infection. But when you're talking about a newborn, an infant, 90% of newborns who become infected, and they'll become infected during delivery, will go on to develop chronic infection. They won't be able to clear the hepatitis B, and about 25% of them will die from sequelae of that infection, either from liver disease, cirrhosis, or from liver cancer. So we have this unique opportunity by giving this birth dose and the subsequent inoculations to virtually eliminate the chance that a newborn can contract hepatitis B and go on to develop chronic infection. It's almost 99% effective at preventing that chronic infection. And the refrain is, and one final point, the refrain is, oh, sorry, please.
No. And this decision now is to wait 2 months before giving that dose.
Right.
The President of the United States came out and said this was very good because Hep B is only transmitted sexually or through dirty needles.
Yeah, look, that's the problem. That's simply not true. The fact is there's a refrain that if you just test the moms during while they're pregnant, you can detect whether they have hepatitis B, and if they have hepatitis B, you continue to give that birth dose. But the reality is many moms don't get tested, even though they intend to. Many times those test results aren't checked. And the tests themselves have a false negative rate, meaning they're going to say you don't have hepatitis B when in fact you do, of about 2%. That may not sound like a lot, but that 2% is going to translate into at least 1,000 babies being born and getting infected with hepatitis B. There was one modeling estimate that estimated in the first year of this new guidance, there's going to be 1,400 children, infants, contracting hepatitis B. And again, 25% of them will die from that infection.